Yep.
Like nobody's gonna help you no matter how much somebody tries to help you or pull you out of something. If you don't want it, it's not gonna happen. Like no matter how many people you got there trying to pull you up, if you're not in that mental mindset of okay, I want to get out of this, like I'm done with this, like you won't get out of it. It's that simple. You have to switch that, you have to turn that switch off and be like, okay, I can do this. Or I can change this situation. I can change this thought, or I can do, and it's just about that, just turning that switch off or turning it on, whatever, whichever one you want to take.
Changing the
But yeah,
filter. That's how I look at it.
that's
Like
it.
you're changing it from the bad stuff to the good stuff, man. That's a good point. Yeah, no, absolutely,
Yeah.
man. I I think that the main thing, man, is like again to finish it up is you ask me who I am, and I don't talk about the show a lot anymore just because I don't want that to be my legacy, right? I went through that
Mhm.
experience. I it was cool. I enjoyed a bunch of different things, meeting a bunch of different people. Met my wife through that. Had my kids because of that. And it was a good experience. I'm gonna be 80 years old in a rocking chair. Me and you just shooting the shit, talking about like, hey man, you remember when you did that? And I realized that as I did all that shit, man, that it's all worth it. And I'm 31 years
Oh, for
old,
sure.
coming
It's
coming
part of life, man. It's part of life.
yeah,
It's part of
I'm
life.
coming up on
We just got
31.
to roll with it.
Yeah, man, coming up on 31. That I'm thinking, where do I want the next 10 years to be? You know, where do we want it to look like? You're coming up on 35, right? Where do we want to be in our 40s, right? And so I
Yep.
think the more that we can give ourselves grace and we focus, like we talked about, focus on the gratitude and practice what we preach, waking up tomorrow morning and saying, hey,
100%.
what's the first three things we're grateful for? I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my skill sets. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for like just you can't be angry and gracious at the same time. It's impossible. You
Yeah.
can't you cannot be pissed off and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey man, well I'm happy about my life." Like what? That makes no sense. So I think
100%.
those steps for us, practicing what we preach, man,